What is one of the dumbest things you've done when your brain was on autopilot? I put my dirty plate in the freezer instead of the dishwasher. Dishes on hard mode. Overshot an exit that I've used hundreds of times, didn't notice and ended up driving another 50 miles before realizing that I was way out of the city's boundaries. Still didn't remember any of the in-between. Just starting to drive and then realizing I had no idea where I was. Dang, we love mindless driving, lol. Thank God driving skills are part of the autopilot experience. I used a key fob from my car to lock my refrigerator. Yeah, I don't know either. My favorite one yet, did it work? Dials 911 on the microwave. Is that a yeet? Put a dog biscuit into the washing machine instead of a detergent pod. I realized before turning it on, so I was able to recover it, and fed the Tide Pod to your dog. Don't be silly. Dogs aren't dumb enough to eat Tide Pods. People, on the other hand. Went to the gym, walked right past the desk where you check in and get a locker key, walked into the locker room, stood in front of a locker and was absolutely puzzled about what to do next. I can hear a buzz sound, like you get in a video game. Then a screen pops up missing locker key. I was a kitchen employee at Arby's when I was 18. We used to have sub rolls that were foot long, but the only subs we sold were 6-inch. So you had to cut each roll in half before you used it. I was just zoned out one day, and I ended up cutting the sub roll in half, putting the knife back in the sub roll bag, and then trying to use the sub roll to cut the next sandwich. My manager saw it and effing died. Imagine being a customer and seeing your employee trying to cut bread with bread. I used the breads to destroy the breads. My brother ordered nachos at a Mexican restaurant, grabbed a chip and proceeded to watch himself dip it into his tea. After about 2 dips, he came back into reality, shook his head and went, "What?" My mother is an EMT. After a 24-hour shift she came home and tried to unlock the front door with her car keys button and did that for about 5 minutes. I once drove to work when I was supposed to drop my younger brother off at school. Neither of us seemed to notice until we got to my workplace and I had turn around. He was late. Little bro noticed for sure. He just wanted to skip class. As someone with no natural sense of direction, it is entirely possible he doesn't keep track if he isn't driving. When I was a brand new mom on maternity leave, but still trying to juggle law school and a newborn, my sister-in-law had an emergency and had to leave her Boston Terrier with me. Even though he was a very well-behaved dog and had met the baby, we still kept them separated just in case. One morning, after my husband left for work, I picked up the baby up out of the bassinet and went downstairs to make coffee. My husband had forgotten something and promptly came right back in to find me at the counter, brewing coffee, rocking a black and white dog in one arm, while our son still quietly chilling in his bassinet upstairs. He took the day off from work and I went back to sleep. I imagine his expression was quite funny. Oh, he was terrified. For some reason, he thought I had a seizure. It was our first kid and I went through a traumatic delivery and that was just the icing on the cake. My mill ended up taking 2 weeks leave because he was so afraid to leave me alone. But the rest of us can look back now and laugh 11 years later. Hahaha. I'm cracking up just picturing the dog and what must have been going through his or her mind. Ha, well, this is nice, unexpected but nice. Flipped my Kindle over to read the other side of a document. The reverse millennial. I have a dog with fluffy white hair. Think poodle-ish. I was on the couch petting and talking to my dog for a good while when I see my wife come down the stairs. Trailing behind her was my dog. I had been petting a Costco fuzzy white blanket the whole time. I wish I could say it only happened once. Update. You can now see my dog and the blanket at @DenverTheDoddlerDog on Instagram. And hahaha, this is hilarious. Can't imagine what it must have looked like to your wife. You being all who's a good boy and kissy facing with a goddamn rug. I was folding my freshly laundered bed linens while simultaneously putzing around the house. I don't know what to tell you, but somehow, I was folding a pillowcase. Then the next moment, I couldn't find it anywhere. And I looked everywhere, my very tiny home. It wasn't in the folded pile. It wasn't in the closet. It wasn't in the bedroom, bathroom, and kitchen where I puttered around while folding said laundry. It still haunts me and I'm going to find that effing pillowcase even if it screws me. It's definitely not in my hand. My other hand. Trash or fridge. My main suspects are the closet or within the fitted sheets, meaning I have to refold them. What's funnier is there are 2 pillowcases of the same design, and it's making me even crazier thinking I imagined the other one. I was also searching for it holding the other one like it was a missing cat poster, lol. Also, I am not German, just learning the language. I used to have a cat but now I currently don't. Here he is. Did you check the trash? If it ended up in the trash, you'll never find it. This is one of my biggest rules. If you can't find it, check the garbage can before it's too late. Edit. Damn, you'll either lost or almost lost so much more important stuff. I created this rule because I accidentally threw away a bunch of yeet. Tore open a sugar packet, poured it directly into the trash, tossed the empty paper packet into my coffee. I've done this too many times to count. Making coffee before you had your coffee is a sport. Drove 17 miles past my interstate exit before I snapped back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes rabbit, he choked. I went inside the gas station, paid, then drove off. Twice. Didn't even fill up, just drove away. Edit. Changed satiation to station before the car satiation jokes become too terrible to bear. I've done the same thing going through the drive-thru a time or two. Pay for my food, get my receipt, drive off, turn around and go back for my food. A couple of weeks ago, I was driving home, but instead of going to my current house, I drove to my old house. I haven't lived there in over 5 years. I pulled into the driveway and luckily I realized what I had done before I actually got out of the car. I can just imagine you entering the house while some family, going about their day, looks up at you in absolute confusion. What's for dinner? Beans. Was brushing my teeth and went to throw something away but ended up spitting all over the floor instead. Once put toothpaste on my razor and very nearly put it in my mouth before the gears in my brain screeched to a halt and the warning sirens went off. I now keep my razor in the shower, far away from my toothbrush. You missed out on a minty fresh shave though. I've gotten in my car on the weekends to go somewhere and gone on autopilot and realize it as I'm pulling into my work's parking lot. I'm like, why the F did I drive to work? I've had similar experiences. I had 3 jobs for a while, and occasionally I'd get dressed for the right job, then drive straight to the wrong one and not realize it until I'm at the door, or answering the phone at job A with job B's greeting. Imagine calling a Pizza Hut and getting the self-harm hotline greeting. Early morning, I was about to put mouthwash on my toothbrush but I caught myself and I was like, nice try, brain, and put them back. Then, I grabbed the toothpaste and squeezed it on my palm. I can see the nice try brain and then continuing to F up. I had a dislocated knee and kicked a soccer ball that was coming towards me. Did it hurt? It caused my knee to go back in place and then I threw up. A girl I knew in high school was playing basketball when she accidentally jumped off of a short ledge between the court and the sidewalk. She ended up dislocating her knee. As she was lying on the ground pale as a ghost, she popped it back into place and promptly passed out. She said she didn't remember anything past tripping on the ledge. Waited at a stop sign for 5 minutes thinking it was a red light. I was not on my phone. I didn't hold anybody else up luckily. Reminds me of the old saying, drunk drivers are more likely to run a stop sign. Yeeted drivers are just gonna wait for the sign to turn green. Was holding my phone and ice cream in a cone. Phone rang. Answered ice cream. A sticky ear is surprisingly uncomfortable. Passes ice cream over to person, it's for you. Swiped up on a paper magazine like it was a screen. This is what boomers imagine children do with books these days. W hats AC on puter, effater I kn not klisi kt boak. Wake up in the middle of the night to take a pee then just autopiloted into my morning routine. It wasn't until after I drank my coffee that I realized it was only 3 AM and that I wasn't going to be able to go back to sleep. I took a nap after work, woke up at 7 PM, and the sky was about the same color it is in the morning. I went into immediate autopilot and made coffee, packed my lunch and realized what I'd done when I was halfway downtown. Did the same thing as a high school senior during the winter, only noticed it was 2 AM and not 7 when I started my car. Best part, it was a Saturday anyways. I slathered my face with hair gel this morning. My condolences. I was working fast food and taking orders both inside and for the drive-thru. I took someone's order inside at the counter and told them to pull forward to the second window. While on autopilot, goes outside and stands at the window. Continuously jammed my work key into my house door. My work key is a big silver one and my house key is one of those picture ones with a bunny on it. I tried to click my house door open with my car keys on more than one occasion. Thank God I'm not the only one who does this, and my car has range, so it literally takes my lights flashing a couple times before I look around to make sure my neighbors didn't see. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to Reddit Nation for more juicy Reddit content and check out our second channel. We upload every day. See you soon.